Joining me now live to discuss this some more, a key member of the House Budget Committee, Texas Congressman Brandon Gill. Congressman, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I hear Democrats talking about ever more spending, and then I hear Rhino Republicans like Lisa Murkowski there saying she wants some of the USAID money that DOJ is cutting out. She wants to put it back in. What are you and other House Republicans going to do to try to stop this spending surge?
Well, first of all, as it relates to a potential Democrat-led government shutdown, Republicans have been working in very good faith, at times with Democrats, to negotiate with them, and all they want is to thwart the president and thwart Elon Musk from cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from our federal government. And we have simply said that is a red line for us. We will not let you stop President Trump from executing on the mandate that voters gave him. We're going to continue right-sizing the federal government. We're going to continue slashing waste from our federal budget so that we can be responsible with taxpayer dollars. And if Democrats don't like that, that is on them. This will be, if it is a shutdown, it will be 100% on the Democrats.
So are you saying tonight that you and other Republicans are willing to let the government shut down on principle, to say, look, we're going to hold the line. We're not going to let you put some of the DOJ cuts back in the budget and just keep on spending? Because that's what the Democrats, as you know, want to do. Will the Republicans hold the line? Because what happened in December is, people got mad before you were in Congress. You're new. They gave in, and they spent all kinds of money so they could go home for Christmas.
What we are saying is we will not allow anything that stops President Trump and Elon Musk from cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the federal government. What Democrats want to do is they want to tie the president's hands, which is his mandate from the American people. They want to try and stop him, and we will not do that. We will not put up with this. The American people sent President Trump and House Republicans to Washington so that we could slash this nonsense. And if the Democrats want to explain to the American people why it is so important to them that we spend money transing mice or sending DEI scholarships on the other side of the globe, then they can do that. But a government shutdown will be 100% entirely be on them if we get there.
All right. Well, the president certainly promised to reshape the government and cut a lot of spending. Promises made, promises kept. And then there's what's going on at the DOJ. The new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is now removing this Biden-era memo that targeted parents of school children. Remember, the FBI, the DOJ under Merrick Garland and Christopher Wray and Joe Biden, they were spying basically on parents at school board meetings. What do you say about the change we're seeing in Washington that is impacting so many people in your home state of Texas and all around this great country?
Well, for 4 years, the Biden administration weaponized the federal bureaucracy against the American people, in particular against his political enemies, and that includes parents who didn't want their children being taught transgender ideologies in public schools. It included pro-life protesters who were simply praying outside of abortion clinics. I met earlier today with Mark Hook, who was prosecuted by the Biden DOJ for operating outside of an abortion facility. This kind of nonsense, this weaponization of the federal government against its own people is going to end now.
I like to hear that. Something else that needs to end is Hamas, those terrorists holding more American and Israeli hostages. The president yesterday met with 8 released hostages in the Oval Office, and then he posted this on Truth Social. Shalom Hamas, meaning hello and goodbye. You can choose. Release all the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. And he repeated his previous message about hell to pay. Now, he has said this before, and some hostages were released. Today in the Oval Office, he said, look, time is running out. Do you believe he's going to back it up and something big is going to happen here in terms of taking out these Hamas terrorists, sir?
I have no doubt that he's going to back this up. President Trump is a massive supporter of Israel, as are House Republicans. That is in stark contrast to the other side of the aisle, the Democrats, many of whom cheered at times after the October 7th massacre. Remember, October 7th would not have happened if President Trump were in office. Our adversaries go wild whenever the United States is weak, and that's what we had for 4 years under Joe Biden. This is America is strong. America is back on the world stage, and we support our allies like Israel. And I absolutely expect President Trump to back up his rhetoric with action here.
Yeah, and in fact, you've introduced a bill to put Mr. Trump's face on the $100 bill. I guess we would lose Benjamin Franklin. What kind of support are you getting? Have you heard from the president yet?
Well, listen, I think that President Trump is the greatest president of my lifetime. Listen, if President Trump resigned from office tomorrow, just with the accomplishments that he has done over the past 40 days, he would go down in history as the greatest president in modern history, probably of the past 100 years. He has secured our border whenever we were told for 4 years that a president couldn't do it, that they needed Congress.
Yeah.
He is ending DEI. He's getting boys out of girls' sports. He's bringing back energy independence, and we're getting our economy back on track. This is exactly what the American people sent him to Washington to do. He is actually executing on all of the promises that he made, and I thought that we ought to memorialize him and give him credit for what he's been doing.
Can't wait to carry around some hundreds. They used to call them the Benjamins. Maybe we'll call them the Trumpies in the future. Congressman, it's a good idea. Congressman Brandon Gill from the great state of Texas. Look forward to having you back very soon, sir.